Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. It has begun. The process has started. As Ipob, indigenous people of Biafra, and Igbos have decided to concretize their moves. This is definitely getting interesting as twists and turns are appearing. Before we go into the news proper to find out what it is the Igbos, the IPOBs, and the rovers of Biafra are doing that may change and upturn the whole process, like and subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, BW Global Group LLC, that's BWGG, a human rights and government accountability advocacy firm in Washington, D.C., as at today filed a formal communication with the Office of the Prosecutor OTP of the International Criminal Court ICC. This filing was submitted pursuant to Article 15 of the Rome Statute, of which the Nigerian government is a signatory to. The filing specifically addresses the atrocities committed by governmental forces and all affiliated paramilitary forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria against members of the indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB) in southeast Nigeria. The body of evidence against Nigeria and its systematic and repressive campaign against the indigenous people of Biafra in southern Nigeria has far too long been ignored by the international community. Today, we are petitioning the International Criminal Court to investigate the criminal acts of the Nigerian government, many of which have been well documented by leading human rights organizations, including Amnesty International, leading news publications worldwide, and policy groups such as the Council on Foreign Relations, asserted Alan White, BWGG partner and petitioner. Amnesty International has documented a catalogue of human rights violations that the Nigerian government has taken against the indigenous people of Biafra. These crimes under international law include mass arrest, excessive and unlawful force and torture. The BWGG petition to the ICC expands the Nigerian government's crimes to also include international rendition of the regime's political opponents. The IPOB, that's Indigenous People of Biafran leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a British national, was caught, held and tortured in Kenya for 9 days and was unlawfully transported to Nigeria by its security agents DSS June 19 to June 29, 2021 in an unlawful rendition operation. Kanu was denied legal counsel for weeks and Kanu has yet to appear in Nigerian court. Congressman Chris Smith, RNJ, R-NJ, ranking member of the House Foreign Affairs Africa Subcommittee, stated, "Genocide is happening right before our eyes. The United States and the international community must do more to mitigate the violence because the dire situation on ground warrants it, and because the people of Nigeria deserve to live in peace and freedom with their fundamental human rights guaranteed." In related congressional statement, Mr. Smith continued, "President Buhari has done little to staunch crimes against humanity." Dr. White noted that BWGG will advocate within the ICC for swift action, calling the ICC the judicial body of last resort, noting that the Nigerian government cannot police its own human rights responsibilities, and this paves the way for the ICC to assume responsibility for the well-being of the African, or rather, the well-being of the Biafran people. Hey, it has begun. The process has started. But there's something I noticed very quickly is the fact that those who are actually pushing this very high and very strongly are actually the BW Global Group LLG, who are actually located in Washington, D.C., which means the US angle has come into play. There's no better person to push something than those in that arena. If you're trying to push it from Nigeria, there will always be that issue of it is a political opponent that are doing this. But this, I could also remember very quickly that Brian, I take that again. I could remember that Bruce Fein came to Nigeria, who happened to be the legal counsel handling the international part the lead counsel and lead counsel international part of the Nnamdi Kanu's case. He was denied opportunity to see his client. All through the time he stayed, he went on Thursday, he was denied. He went on Monday, there was a dimension that came into place saying that he requires another permission, being that he's not a Nigerian citizen, he's a US citizen, and he needs permission as a foreigner to access a client in Nigeria. He left feeling so bad, being that all laws, especially international laws, govern this, especially when it comes to the issue of rendition and all that. And he felt, okay, maybe this time it's time to take this case to a different dimension, which he did. And to make it very interesting, Nigeria is a signatory to some of these bodies, which means they are dragging the Nigerian government out. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I do know one thing. If a foreigner, or rather an insider who is an American citizen, decides to push this, especially from the US angle, to ICC, then there is an international. I could also still remember that before now, some of these big media houses, CNN and the rest, they were actually shying away, from picking, Ipob, anything that has to do with Biafra and all that. But as soon as he left, they started, saying one or two things about Biafra, the southeastern zone. Started making a lot of headway. I do know one thing for sure: monies have gone. Monies are still going to go into it, but I guess the indigenous people of Biafra and those who are seeking for Biafra actualization, they don't care the amount they spend. All they want is their freedom. If lives can be lost, if they can give their own lives to ensure that the next generations, their children unborn, and get that country called Biafra, I guess the way they are going, they will give it. But right now, the dimension have changed, and I do know that at this rate, they may likely have to do. But I'm a bit curious though. Curiosity in the sense that is there immunity to this, proponents, being that the Nigerian government right now are still the Nigerian government? Will there be immunities? Well, I guess international dimension of law will come into play. Well, now, let's just very quickly, feel the pulse of Nigerians, because Nigerians were talking. This one here says, glimpse of hope for Biafrans. Kudos to all that are engineering and facilitating this cause. More power to them. I know that honestly, to even engage some of these firms are not they're not beans. You have to pay good money to engage them. This one here is saying, Odogu Kariri Odogu, or hey Biafra, as in Odogu Kariri Odogu, as in king that is bigger than king, or a strong man, stronger than a strong man, I guess. That's where we'll wrap it up. Let's meet in that comment section. This is definitely getting in a different dimension. We keep giving you updates as it keep happening. What's your take on this? Definitely, this is